You're listening to Anatomy for Life with Crystal and Nicole, where we discuss the anatomy behind the most popular physical and spiritual practices so you can get the most out of these modalities on your healing journey.
Welcome to our little special episode.
We're so excited for this episode today. It's an addition to our normal podcast because we have a very special announcement. We have been working for a while now and collaborating, and you're probably wondering a little bit about how Crystal and I ended up partnering, and this is what we're going to share with you today. We are going to be releasing on February 21st a brand new course online that is going to be geared directly for anatomy for yoga instructors. And it's going to be unlike any course that you've seen online or in person. We are going to be bringing you what students have been asking Crystal for really for years, that a lot of times they just can't get out of doing normal continuing education courses. So first, I want, for those who don't really know Crystal and her full background, I want Crystal just to take a minute and share with us a little bit about who she is and why she's qualified to teach everybody about anatomy for the body as it relates to yoga.
Yes, I feel like I do have a lot of people around here that know me, but there will be a lot that don't. And so I do teach continuing anatomy education courses for yoga teacher trainings and just individually as workshops. So I've been doing this for 15 years, and I have a medical history background, a medical family, lots of resources I can tap into that other people cannot. And I've created these courses, and in the course of teaching them over the years in yoga teacher trainings and one-on-one sessions, I've just noticed that there is a big kind of hole and discrepancy in what people want to feel confident in with their teaching. So a lot of times when you're in a yoga teacher training, you need this safety foundation and you need to understand basically how the anatomy works. But you're also in a place where you're being inundated with many different avenues of teaching and new skills that you're developing, as you should be, and it's everyone's favorite time in life when they look back on their yoga teacher training in hindsight. It's a great time. But your resources and the things that you learned there are so important to be able to go back to and to be able to revisit, circle back, reiterate, and implement as you start integrating your teaching. Because it's kind of too much to do all at once. So as I've had lots of feedback and worked with lots of people over the years and heard lots of things evolve in people's teaching, the biggest thing, the biggest pain point, and the thing that they want is to be able to feel confident and really understand what it is that they're teaching, first of all in their own body, but then have like easy, actionable ways that they can say something or do something in their class to send that information out and to help their students, and even on one-on-one sessions. So they really want to feel like skilled, confident, competent, know what they're saying, and empowered to not only be able to pass that along to their students, but also maybe get out a little bit of the rat race of teaching all these classes for not a lot of money, running here and there to all these studios, going to Vegas for a workshop, going all over the country, you know, for an additional 20 or 30 hours in this one subject, but be able to have a nice foundation, understanding, and basis so they themselves could just run a workshop themselves. You know, like they learn some knowledge and then they can go somewhere and say, hey, look, I've really done a deep dive into the shoulders or whatnot. So I'm going to run a workshop, which is a higher price point for them, and it helps them and their students. And they get to sit down, you know, for however long they decide their workshop is and go through their flows and their workshop things and just really be able to explain that information in depth and help people. And for a yoga instructor, I just think it's so imperative, and it helps us so much because when you're teaching in a class, you can't make sure everybody's safe. You can't cue to every person's anatomy, right? But the more you can understand it and the more you can get those things under your belt, and then what's really cool is I've created something because I've been there and I get what it feels like to just even start understanding it a little and a little more and a little more, but then still not be able to say well, how do I say that?
That
right?
confidence, right?
Yeah,
That
like-
confidence to say, if my student asks me a question, I feel like I can confidently answer correctly even.
Right. Or yeah, and even like what's that cue or what's that thing, what's that sentence I can say that will apply to everybody's anatomy and keep them in alignment, right? So it just takes a long time to get there, and it takes a lot of years, right? It's taken me 15 years, and this is like the main thing I study. So I just really want to be able to help people get over that little hump and even just give them a couple tools to grasp onto that they can say that and do that and know what's going on. And then also what's really cool is as a yoga instructor, we're used to spending more than we ever make to get this stuff, get this information, go there, do the things. And why I'm so excited is because I feel like we've been able to do the things at a price point that is so affordable, and that is material that you will be able to keep forever, and not only be able to go through the material and keep the videos forever, but also to have access to me live, right, in small groups. And this is why I've never really been able to do this before, because until I partnered with Nicole, I didn't have the know-how, the 20 years in marketing, the skills, the organizing curriculums, the way to get the information out that is just so palatable, so easy, so much sense. And I feel like it's all up here and I can teach people, but Nicole has partnered with me, which I'm so excited about, because everything we create, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that would work. Like, oh my god, they would easily be able to understand this. And the freebies we're giving out, and the course, workshop layouts I'm giving, and the slides she's created, it's just like, it's giving me a clear voice, and it's giving it such an easy way to work. One, the biggest thing, we don't have to travel as yoga instructors. We don't have to spend $10,000, or let's be honest, even $1,000 or $1,500 to go to another state, stay in a hotel, learn from someone for 30 hours with our little notebooks, and whatever we didn't write down, we forget, right? Or we don't have access to them.
Yes.
So at this price, you can have these videos forever, and you can have access to me in lives, and it should stick. And the way we're putting it out it's just making me so excited, because it's a brainchild I've had in my heart forever, that I want to help the yoga community in this way based on the requests I was getting. And I'm not perfect, and I don't have to be the best, but I've got a good way, and I know what they want, and I know that it works. And we've tested it, and I've got students asking for it. And so it's just kind of like I said, like a little brain and heart child.
Yeah.
That is from my heart, and I just want to help in this way. So actually, I want Nicole, will you tell us a little bit more about how you've structured this?
Sure.
And what's going to make a lot of sense to them?
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about first what the actual course is. So we're going to be over the course of the next year, even the next couple of years really, but especially within the next year, all of these courses are going to focus on specific parts of the anatomy. The first one that we're rolling out, Crystal, the name of that one, is going to focus on the hips, shoulders, spine, pelvic floor, and diaphragm. Okay, so that is what you will get in this first. It's what we're calling a spotlight course. We're spotlighting these areas. The next course will go over other parts of the anatomy. They're going to be very palatable. You're not going to have to go for 22 hours and then walk away feeling like you just drank from a fire hose and that you can't remember a thing, or even understand, again, how to put it into action. So the way that we're going to roll it out, the course is going to go over a 4-week period. And it's going to be an hour long on each of those weeks. And it will be live. So you will see Crystal. There will be demonstrations. And it will be so absorbable. You're also going to have tons of helps in there. PDFs, cueings. We're giving away some incredible freebies that they would pay a lot of money to have. And I can't wait to the point where we get to announce some of those. You all are going to be blown away by the price point you're going to get for everything that you're going to get. I'll just say that right now. But not only, where this is really going to be different is you're going to have those once a week, 1 hour sessions where Crystal is teaching. There's also going to be a community aspect where you'll be able to comment during it. We'll be able to respond. But even more important will be on each of those 4 weeks, there will also be a second day of a 1 hour session where you're going to be able to submit any questions you had from what you learned about your anatomy, about what you're seeing in your students, whatever it may be, to Crystal through our forum. We'll have a whole student section where you'll be able to go in and log in online. As soon as we do our live presentation, it will go in within about 24 to 48 hours where you can go and watch that anytime for the rest of your life. So you pay for this once, and even if we upgrade and add to this over time, you are always going to be able to go back and say, what was that I learned about the diaphragm? And you'll be able to go directly to that spot in the video, watch it. You'll have the PDF resources in there with diagrams and all sorts of useful information, the cueing, everything. And then on the second day during that week that you're taking the classes, so like I said, there's 2 hours basically in each of the 4 weeks. The second hour is where you're going to be able to submit your questions ahead of time, and Crystal will be there to answer them live.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. That's my favorite thing to do with students is that feedback, right? And exactly what you need. So we don't want to inundate you with too much of that stuff right away. But
Right.
What I did want to mention is the reason why we're on this little special is because Nicole's going to tell you about the first 10 spots we're offering. We're going to launch this the evening of Thanksgiving tonight. For Black Friday special, we need 10 people to sign up for those spots. And when they're gone, they're gone. And you can
Right.
still sign up for the course, but in case you missed it before. The course will begin February 22nd. You don't have to be on live when those launch. You can watch them after. But know it's going to be February 21st. Did I say 22nd? So it'll be February 21st, but we're running the special right now, and then you'll be able to buy it now. And then the next time cart will open will be the end of January. So just before Nicole gives you those specs, so stay tuned if you want to get pen and paper and write that down as she gives us the specs or re-listen to this. I just have to tell you, my friend told me the funniest story in advanced yoga a couple of weeks ago where I was telling her about this course. I've been getting feedback from a lot of people in our creative phase, and she was saying, it would be so nice because she's a registered nurse and she was doing something like Savasana, shoulder standing class. And the teacher was walking around and the teacher said, yes, because when your legs are above your heart, then the blood flows the other way in your veins now. So your heart gets a break when you're upside down. And she was just dying in class. And we had a good laugh about it, but also we're all a little cringy because we're like, we've said it. I've said it. We've been there. We've heard something. We've repeated something. We thought we've understood. And then I think that's another thing about the fear that keeps you from saying anything about helping people with their anatomy. But also, if you say something crazy like that, it cuts away at your credibility a little bit. And I think we're all great. And I think yoga instructors all just want to help, and they understand things so well, and they're so smart. And I just think this is one more thing to kind of build that foundation and beef them up so that they can go spread even better knowledge and more help. It's such a beautiful modality. And I just love that we're perpetuating it, and I just want to continue to support that process in the best way we can. So listen right now. Nicole's going to give you the dates, the times, the price points, and then go ahead and write this down or re-listen to this, and then we will put lots more stuff
And feel free to email us or call us, respond on Instagram. Send us a DM if you have any questions at all. The price point for this is going to be, when we launch in February, or I guess whenever we open our cart in February, the full price of the course is going to be $297. A still of a deal. Even if you aren't one of the first 10 to do it, the value you are going to get for that $297 is unbelievable. But for the first 10 people who sign up during this pre-launch, you're going to get it for only $147. And I don't really know many educational things in the yoga world where you can get that kind of value for such a little price. And that $147, what that's going to give you is entire access to the entire course when it goes live. And you will also have access to any of the freebies that we're offering for people who sign up within the first couple of days when the cart opens, any kind of bonuses that we give. you will have access to all those as well. Now, what you're going to have in exchange, or what we're asking in exchange for being one of our first 10 and for giving you 50% off the program, is that you just be willing to provide us with some feedback as we ask some questions. It's going to be pretty easy. Leading up to the actual cart open and the actual course going live, I might email you 3 or 4 times asking you a couple of very simple questions. It'll probably even be in the form of like a Google questionnaire where you just hit like question A or question B, which one, which answer are you going with? It'll be very simple. So it'll probably be through Google Forms. And then during the course, once a week, at the end of the week, I'm going to send out a short survey, probably 5 questions max. It shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes, if even that, to answer those quick questions. So that is really what we're asking, and it's just really for feedback to help us to get better. We'll be relaunching this course over and over and over, and we want to continue to make it better. And so that's going to just allow us to really be able to refine the course and make sure we're giving you guys everything that you need, but also as we do make the course better, as we said earlier, you're going to have access to go back and see any new materials, any new PDFs, any new videos that we have uploaded in our student platform area, that you'll have lifetime access to those. So I feel like this is an incredible deal. We've already had about 15 people reach out to us independently saying that they want to be first on board to access this. So if you want to be one of these first 10 at this incredible price, please don't wait. We're only keeping the cart open until November 29th, just a few days. But if it sells out before then, we're closing. You'll be able to sign up through a link that we're going to post here. You can also send us a DM, and then we can send you over all the payment information, whatnot. But we're so excited, and please let us know if you have any additional questions, and we'd be happy to answer this for you. And we're so excited to see who we get on board.